Teachers that not deserve democracy. In totally never expected huge problem is involved the New Mexico's president and federal government, who with to the world as witness, is astonished spectator of serious disorderly demonstrations of all kinds by part of small groups of upset and angry people at this agreement on the implementation of new law, required educational regeneration, and also several other conflicts of neither well-defined reason and justice, that they have taken a while, and that the government has been powerless to resolve. For returning the calm of these social groups, now unusually and already frank ungovernable rebellion, of even aggressive provocation and confrontation social and against of police, who in complete helpless inability by forced obedience to higher imposition, just try to dissolve, to deter and prevent blocking settling in places, affecting public interests in prejudice of more conservative society's usual activity. Authorities have almost completely defenseless tolerate the onslaught of all those people, without any possible response of similar violent repression deserved, because supposedly already it has finally opened the door of government acceptance to free and fair popular democracy, in that violent claims should not any more be resolved on its part with more repressive violence, but with peaceful dialogue discussion to solve problems, with fair, more convenient, satisfactory, mutual agreed, that have not allowed those once irrational protesters, at closed incomprehensible disagreement of the effective implementation of the new education regeneration's law, because obviously it affects huge interest of large numbers of teachers, and people outside the teaching, that unfairly benefit from highly paid to several places that they do not attend, and have been illegally granted, in covert complicity with anterior government, as well other concepts of neither legal arrogant imposition of particular benefit, in also fraudulent advantageous prejudice to the public treasury, by the known corruption that also prevails in this magisterial community, and already it has gotten enough power to intimidate and blackmail to defenseless more conservative national society and government, with veiled threats of suspension to educational student, refusing to abandon its arrogant, blindly and unjust claim, unless government back off and discard the implementation of the new education law, more precisely well planned to clear necessary national benefit and of society, has even for dissident and more aware teachers outside from the movement, and still at helpful educational function, despite the fear of possible retaliation from the Union, being this twisted, discordant faction clear manipulation tool from the powerful Union, whose interests also they see threatened. And quite possible is that even the previous still imprisoned leader of the Teachers' Union Elba, Esther Gordillo, accused of proven corruption, and responsible for the creation and monstrous growth of such mafia, continue having the powerful political influence to implement such movements, in obvious order of with the pressure to somehow be released from jail and re-go unpunished in her claimed position, imposing again the same hopeless situation of impunity and corruption, thus being it evidence demonstrated and well cleared and face the eyes of the world's people who does not know the causes of this problematic disorder in Mexico, and again puts us in shame, that at least for much of that people class, and also of many other ways negative Mexicans, is of another world's countries, that also are affected more by the ignored most intense outside influence of decomposition, also provoker of global warming, widely both informed in detail by this author. The granted public democracy it was not deserved for those corrupt teachers, because due to their negative chronic cultural quality, badly they mistaken with it interpreting which animalized and punished freedom, for pursuing their dirty self-interest, to act in messy prejudice to majority national society. May be possible that this won by jaded tolerance, the same society so far it's stoically indifferent, decide to make a own violent crackdown of that undesirable group, thus aggravating the problem for the well-intentioned and confused new national government. already crammed with the very incipient natural calamities, surely regretted by granted democracy to people who do not deserve, by to be in cultural very negative chronic form, and unashamedly showing to the world for more than enough to discredit the so much considered irremediably negative Mexican's reputation, doing also most doubtfully in fact frightened and deterred of international tourist visitors.